Hello, hello. Welcome back to Release Your Inner Power podcast. I want to ask you something right out the gate. Have you ever had a thought pop up in your head that sounded so convincing, but also made you feel kind of small, maybe heavier, maybe more weight on your back, or like, I don't know, maybe I should just stay in this lane right here, stay right where I'm at? Yeah. That voice, right? The one that says, who do you think you are? You should be so much further along by now. Or what if I mess this up? Or shh, just stay quiet. Don't say nothing. This is the safe zone. This is where you stay safe. Now, here's the tricky part, okay? That voice can sound so confident and so right. It can sound logical. It can sound sometimes even like it's trying to help you, right? But today, I want to clear something up about this. Something up that can change everything and possibly blow your mind, because there is a huge difference between your inner critic, or what I like to call your brain dragon, and your inner wisdom or true self of who you are. And if you have been feeling stuck or second guessing yourself or standing on the edge of maybe what's next, but not moving or going anywhere, not sticking a toe in, not taking a baby step, just staying right where you are, this episode is for you, especially because we are officially moving into the second phase where we stop just surviving, stop reacting to things, and start tuning into ourselves again and really knowing what is for us. Not the loud outside noise, circumstances, situations that are around us, not everybody else's opinions on what we should be doing and their expectations of us. Your voice, the one that actually knows what you want, your true self. Really quick, I want to chat a little bit about a time in my life that I kept feeling this nudge. It was just a little one, just a little nudge. It wasn't loud. It wasn't like booming dramatic. It was this little kind of persistent over and over pull towards something. And it was something more. It was like more maybe an alignment with who I am, like more in what I really wanted, more honest, and it felt more me. But every single time that nudge showed up, that little voice, my little dragon, swooped in right behind it. Oh, be realistic. Really? Are you really going to do that? Do you even have time for that? What if you don't get that? What if you fail? What if you can't show up for that? You should be grateful for what you have. Don't be rocking the boat. Excuse me? Here's the thing. There are times that I thought that that voice was helping me and knew what it was talking about. Because I thought being hard on myself was being responsible. I thought that maybe doubting myself was thinking it through and being smart about the situation. I thought that questioning every little want, you know, is this right for me to do? Like asking all these questions meant that I was being mature about the situation and logical about the situation because I'm evaluating all of my decisions. Spoiler alert. It wasn't wisdom and it wasn't helping me. It was fear. It was fear keeping me stuck in the familiar, because that is where my inner critic and dragon is comfortable, is in the familiar, not in the new, not in the change, not in the growth. The biggest clue for me was every time I listened to that voice, things didn't feel, they felt heavier. They felt like I wasn't really moving. They felt like I was just staying in this little box, staying in the safe zone, which was completely disconnecting me from myself. But when I didn't listen to that voice, when I took a little step or stuck a toe in towards what I felt right or what was pulling me, I felt way lighter. I felt more energized and more of like, like what is more, like almost expanding myself, wanting more and excited to take the steps, ease, if you will. And that's when I realized your inner wisdom, your true self, it doesn't leave you feeling small or feeling guilty or feeling shame around it, right? It never leaves that. So I kind of want to dive in a little bit between this inner critic brain dragon person and your true self and your inner wisdom. So let's break down this whole versus to a super real bestie kind of way. Okay? So your inner critic or your brain dragon, let's dive into that. It's loud. It speaks in absolutes like always and never and shoulds. Brings more of like an urgency and panic, like, oh man, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, that kind of a thing. Or it can feel like you make a decision and you just put like 20 pounds on your back, this big weight, or you feel tight, or maybe you're raising your shoulders up and you're wearing them as earrings, or you're super like constricted because you're stressed out, like maybe tension headaches, like maybe those, or it focuses on the fear or past mistakes or worst case scenarios. And the thing that dragons love to do is compare yourself to others. Your inner critic does this because it thinks it's protecting you by keeping you in the safe zone. It's trying to keep you exactly where you are, in the familiar, whether it's good or bad. You could have, you could be in a super like hostile environment. Maybe it's work, maybe it's at home behind closed doors. But because it's familiar, because chaos is familiar, it wants you to stay there because it knows what's going to happen next, right? It can be really sneaky. So awareness is key on this. Now, the other side, your inner wisdom or your true self, this speaks to you calmly. It speaks to you often, whether we hear it or not. I'm going to say that. It's gentle. It doesn't rush you. It feels steady. It feels like grounded, almost like a foundation. It focuses on what your wants and needs are, growth. It focuses on truth, right? Sometimes we got to get a little real with ourselves here. And it doesn't need to explain itself 4,700 times. It doesn't need to have excuses and stories to back it up. Okay? Your inner wisdom doesn't yell, it invites or pulls, right? It sounds like, I don't know if this feels right anymore. This doesn't seem to feel right anymore. Or there's more over here. Or there's more for you. Or, ooh, you're allowed to want this. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be amazing. Or take that step. Take that next small step. And here's the most important part, right? Inner wisdom or true self, it feels loving, even when it challenges you. So it doesn't shame you into change, it guides you into it. Kind of like, you know, when your dragon is talking to you and saying your inner critic saying those things in your ear and you feel like reactive and you're like nervous and you're scared and you're like all of that stuff. It's very different than doing something new that is for you and being like, oh, I'm kind of nervous, but I'm really excited at the same time, like nervous, excited. Those are very different feelings in your body. And to know the difference of those, it's easier to do that. And it feels more frantic and like da 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 to like listen to your inner critic and your dragon, right? This is why also this next phase is powerful because phase one is about awareness, just noticing what you're noticing, awareness, information gathering, right? Seeing maybe some patterns that you might be doing, seeing some burnout, seeing overthinking, and realizing what is not working for you anymore because you don't feel right about it, also, right? This next phase is about reconnection and recognizing this, recognizing your inner critic, recognizing your true self. This is the time where we stop asking ourselves, what should I do? And start asking what feels right to me, for me. What is for me? What is the next step for me? And I know tuning into your inner voice can feel super scary at first, uneasy, not really sure. You have to build trust with yourself, right? Especially if you've spent many years putting everybody else first and taking care of everyone else, right? Or especially if you've been in survival mode, we got to work with the trust, right? But here's the little nugget of truth I want you to hear. So your inner wisdom, your true self has been whispering to you this entire time. It talks to you and lets you know this entire time. It can show up like maybe a gut feeling, like a hit, like a gut feeling of like a knowing. Maybe it's an idea that you keep coming back to and coming back to, those out of the blue ideas that keep coming back to you, or a restlessness in you that doesn't go away in a certain part of your life or with certain people. This maybe that excitement that I was telling you about, the nervous excited that is mixed with a little bit of fear, like, oh, I don't know, I want to do this, and that doesn't mean that you need to like blow up your whole life overnight. Okay. It's about small, being honest with yourself, check-ins. Like, check in, be honest, be real, and just do one small thing. Like, does this actually feel good to me? Am I choosing this decision because I'm scared or because it feels more in alignment with what I want? It feels more aligned with who I am and what I want. Or what do I need right now? Sometimes it'll say, go for it, go get that. Sometimes your true self will be like, pause, hold up. We need to pause right here. And sometimes it says, no, rest, rest. All of it counts. All of it counts. Okay, so how do you tell the difference? How do you tell the difference between this inner critic dragon thing you're talking about or your, inner wisdom, your true self, your knowing? Okay. I want to give you a tool this week just to try because the more you practice building a relationship with these, the more you know when situations come up, you can see that dragon coming from a mile away. And it's a lot easier for you to make decisions and trust yourself when making them. Okay. So when a thought pops up, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Okay. Does this thought feel like urgent and frantic, or does the thought feel like grounded and just kind of like solid, if you will, like a foundation-ish kind of a thing? Or is it like, or is it just given to you, right? The thought just comes. Urgency, frantic, inner critic, dragon. Grounded, like delivered, inner wisdom, true self. Okay. Second question you can ask yourself. Does this thought make me feel expansive, excited, like nervous, excited about it? Or does it feel like, oh man, I don't know, contracted and Expansion, true self, inner wisdom. Contraction, worry, critic, dragon. Okay. Number 3, this is a big one. Would I say this to a friend I love? Would I say this to a friend I love? If not, it is not your inner wisdom. It is not your true self. Okay. And here's a bonus reframe that I totally love. Your inner critic is loud because it's scared. Your inner wisdom is quiet because it trusts you. You don't need to silence the critic completely. We're not going to get into this battle of shushing it up. Okay. And you definitely don't need to let it drive the bus. It is not designing your life. You are designing your life. And when you let it drive, it is designing, right? If you take nothing else from today, let it be this, okay? That you're not broken, you are not behind, and you don't need fixing, okay? You're in the season of remembering who you are and reconnecting to yourself. And what is the next step for you doesn't require forcing yourself, okay? It just requires trusting who you are, trusting the quiet voice, trusting that nudge or that pull to something more, trusting that you can take the next step without having the whole plan laid out in front of you. Because maybe taking that next step shows you the plan, but you're not going to know it until you trust yourself and take the step. Okay. This isn't about becoming somebody all new and changing everything and revamping your whole life. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about recognizing yourself, making your true self, your inner wisdom, if you will, louder than your dragon. I like to say tame your dragon. That's one of the things I love to say. Let's tame your dragon and let's trust yourself and have your inner self get louder. So this week, I want you to listen a little bit closer. Speak kinder to yourself and let curiosity lead instead of fear, because that inner wisdom, that true self wants more for you. That is the one worth following. That is the one worth designing the life you truly want to live. And my friend, I cannot wait to see where it leads you. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, learned something new, or got some gems to take away that will boost your week. I release a new episode each week, so make sure to click that follow button to not miss what is coming next. If you love the show or want to share a story, send me a quick message. I love hearing from listeners. If you know someone who needs this episode in their life, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they would love you for it. If you are looking to connect more, check out the show notes for all the social links, my website. I would love to hear how this episode helped you and what you loved about it. If there's a topic you want to hear about, send that too. All right, ladies, now is the time to release your inner power. Are you feeling like you're behind or something's off or you've tried to do something new and you just can't get on that wagon? You just keep falling off? Guess what? You're human and life doesn't follow a perfect timeline. Maybe the year didn't start the way that you hoped. Maybe your goals got buried under real life stuff. But here's the truth. You're allowed to begin again anytime you want, whether it's July, September, December, January. Progress doesn't have a deadline. That's why now is the perfect time to join Empower Her. We meet you where you are, help you build momentum, and remind you that you don't have to do this alone. There's still so much time left. Let's make it count together.